How many was it, Kemi? How many did you lose? That's the question that Badenoch could not answer on Sky News yesterday morning. Trevor Phillips gave her a rough figure, asked her very simply to confirm it, and what came out was one of the most revealing 30 seconds you'll watch from a Conservative leader this year. And it's quiet, which is part of it that makes it worse.
We have gone forward since last year.
The voters...
No. I'm not playing this game, Trevor. I'm not playing this game.
So Trevor Phillips had been pretty gentle with her, for the first few minutes. Marches, Tommy Robinson, Brexit, even some famous singer kind of gag. She'd had a reasonably comfortable run. Then he pivoted and the temperature dropped.
I may be missing the point here, but I think Reform won more than 1,400 new seats last week. I think that you lost, getting on for 700.
Nope, that's not true.
How many did you lose?
No, that's not true.
So those numbers, let's actually do what Kemi wouldn't do and look at them properly. Reform UK Limited gained 1,451 councillors on May the 7th. They took control of 14 councils, Suffolk, Norfolk and big chunks of Hampshire and Sussex. The Conservatives lost 563 seats. They lost 6 councils outright. That makes it a 5th consecutive election under the Conservative leadership where the party has gone backwards. Henry Hill at Conservative Home, the party's own house magazine, described their position by saying the councillors' base is being eviscerated. 563 seats, that was the number. Trevor's getting, going on for 700 was, a slight overshoot. But the order of magnitude is right and the direction is exactly right. So when he asked her point blank how many they'd lost, there is a number and she could have given it. The number is 563. Kemi Badenoch is the leader of the opposition and knowing that number is part of her job. And so on national TV on Sunday morning, she would not say it out loud.
I think that you lost, getting on for 700.
Nope, that's not true.
How many did you lose?
No, that's not true. And also, don't forget...
How many did you lose?
No, Trevor, we lost... I'm not here to say we didn't lose seats.
What she actually said was a string of nothing. That's not true, and also don't forget, I'm not here to say that we didn't lose seats. And then, this is the part I want to kind of focus on really, is her actual defence.
But these are seats that we won at the height of conservatism, when Boris Johnson was there. We have gone forward since last year.
Right, so let's go back to that height. The seats up for grabs on May the 7th, 2026 were last contested in May 5th, 2022. So let's remember together what's happening in May of 2022. Boris Johnson was Prime Minister, yes, and he was also 6 months deep into Partygate. The Met had just fined him over the lockdown gatherings at number 10. Sue Gray's interim report had landed. His party had spent the better part of the year lying about parties held in Downing Street while ordinary people were burying their relatives in groups of 6. And the public was quite reasonably furious about it.
What I can tell the right honourable gentleman is that all guidance was followed completely. I can understand how infuriating it must be to think that the people who have been setting the rules have not been following the rules. I'm happy to set on the record now that when I came to this House and said in all sincerity that the rules and guidance would be followed at all times, it was what I believed to be true.
The Conservatives lost 485 seats that night. Boris was forced out of office 2 months later by July. The whole government had then collapsed under him. Calling May 2022 the height of conservatism is like calling an iceberg the high point of the Titanic. Those weren't seats won at a Tory peak. They were seats the Conservatives barely scraped through, whilst Boris's premiership was completely collapsing around him. The actual heights of conservatism, if we're going to use Kemi's phrase, were probably 2008 under Cameron, or 2017 under Theresa May after the Brexit referendum. Not the year of their own Prime Minister was being fined by his own police force for breaking his own laws. She didn't just dodge the number, she actually invented a flattering historical context to dodge it inside. And when Trevor wouldn't let it go, this is what came next.
No, I'm not playing this game, Trevor. I'm not playing this game. We want seats of Labour.
The democracy game, like the voters, the people spoke, right?
I'm not here to talk about reform.
And that right there is the line of the interview. And the reason it lands so hard is because it puts the question back into plain English. What is the game exactly? asking the leader of the opposition to acknowledge the result of an election that took place 10 days ago, asking how many councillors her party lost in that election, asking her to engage with the actual measurable consequences of her own actual measurable leadership.
If people want reform, they'll vote reform. If people want conservatism, they'll vote conservative. I'm not doing a deal. That's the point. And I'm tired of people constantly making politics a game.
She follows it up with, I'm tired of people constantly making politics a game, which is fascinating framing from a woman who, 10 minutes earlier on the very same broadcast, was a self-congratulatory loop about her side-eye to Wes Streeting and her gags about the haircuts and the Labour front bench.
But I think there's a sort of a tone of hostility, and there's a fine line between something which, you know, everybody enjoyed your side-eye at Wes Streeting this week, but you also had a go at the front bench's haircuts. Surely politics should be above this kind of thing.
I don't think politics has ever been above teasing your political opponents. In fact, I think most of politics has been about that.
Politics is a game when it suits her. The second it gets pointed at her own seat count, it becomes a sacred democratic process being cheapened by impertinent questions. Or, in plain language, she can dish it out, but she certainly can't take it. There is, by way of serious version of defence that Kemi could have given. I mean, she could have said, yes, we lost 563 seats, but our vote share recovered slightly from 2025. The Sky News national equivalent vote put us on 20%, and Reform UK Limited actually slid back a couple of points from their May 2025 peak. That is all true. It's technically defensible. I mean, it's not great, admittedly, but it's something a leader of the opposition could plausibly have walked out the studio with. Instead, she decided to lie about Boris, refused to name the number, and accused Trevor of playing some kind of democracy game. And we'll be working through more of the post-election fallout over the next couple of weeks, if that's the sort of thing you're here for. So be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, or you can support the channel by joining the membership as well. Anyway, sorry, slight distraction there. The reason why it matters, beyond the obvious credibility hit, is that this is the leader who had spent the last 6 months at Prime Minister's Questions telling Keir Starmer that he should call a general election, that he should resign, and, you know, he's doing everything wrong. Demanding mandates, demanding the country gets a fresh say, and the moment the country actually does get a say, and the say is, no thank you, we're going to give Reform 1,451 councillors and a fistful of county councils, she would rather discredit the question than answer it. And that's the meltdown, a small, quiet, controlled refusal to look at the scoreboard. Whatever happens next at the top of the Conservative Party, and a lot is going to happen, that 30 seconds is going to come back. The job of the leader of the opposition is, more than anything else, to be the person who can stand up and tell the country just what happened. On Sunday morning, she was asked to do exactly that, and Kemi Badenoch decided to have a hissy fit instead.